Welcome to the duck yard. Maybe I should start introducing everybody. That's Jerkface. If you don't know why his name is Jerkface, I'll let you look it up in the Urban Dictionary or the Slang Dictionary, maybe. And this is Wobble and her man, Diwan. And that's Cool Bro. Hey, dude. Very cool, very cool. And now we get to the part where nobody has a name, which is why Diwan is Diwan. It's duck without a name. So we have a whole bunch of ducklings without names here. And their mama, who also doesn't have a name that I can remember. I think she had a name. She is the one that was claimed by one of my grandsons, but I don't remember what he called her, and I seriously doubt that he remembers what he called her. She's just the sweetest girl. And here she is with 3 of her boys next to her. And the other 10 are over here. And actually, only one of them is hers. And it happens to be, let me see if I can zero in on it. I'm holding a drink. It's a White Claw, 0 proof. And I'm trying to balance it next to me without it falling over, because then I'll have a wet seat. The duckling right there with the kind of yellowish on the outsides of her face, that is the mama's only biological baby. All the others belonged to a different duck hen that was in the nest with her, and I had to remove it out of the coop because it was attacking and potentially going to injure or even kill the babies that belong to this mama here. She had 2 babies. I sold one of them. It went to live at a farm not too far away, but the other one is still here. So the other 12 babies belonged to the other duck hen, and the only one that's hers is that one. And I really don't think she remembers that that's her only baby, because she's just taken to raising these little ones like such a champion. She just really is a very good mama. She's super mellow, super cool, super sweet. She's just the best duck ever. I was just commenting to someone on one of my short videos earlier. Hey everybody, 25 in here, welcome. And thank you for the thumbs up, I appreciate that. Hello, Mark. Thank you, I love them too. She's the sweetest. So I was just commenting, uh-oh, here comes trouble. See those 2 mamas right there? They have 1 baby, and they just came over and they're going to harass these babies. They are very protective, but they don't need to come over here and attack these babies. Anyway, I want this mama, being as sweet as she is, I want her to be safe from being bullied by the other ducks. So I might give her her own coop over the winter with a couple of her babies. All of the babies are for sale, but I might keep 1 or 2. Donald, hey Pierre. Donald, my goodness. Donald Duck. We don't have a Donald Duck. I have never had a Donald Duck. I don't think I've ever had a white, at least not, I mean, I used to years and years ago. I had a white duck, but I haven't had a white boy duck in forever. So we don't have a Donald. We have a Diwan. Let's see, where's Diwan? Oh, Diwan, I was just looking at him right. There's Diwan. He's the messy looking one. He's in the middle of a very painful looking molt. It looks worse than it is. And then there's his brother, Cool Bro. And there's Jerkface over there. Jerkface is a total jerkface. So I named him appropriately. All right, scrolling back. Now, there wasn't too much drama with those 2 mamas and their baby, I'm glad. Now we've got some other meanies out of their coop, and they're over there. One of them is Bingo. The black and white one is Bingo. She and her sister wife have 3 babies that they're raising. And they're very ferocious. If they come over here, we're going to see some drama. I wish it wasn't so. Oh, cool, bro. Ooh, look at that baby. Oh. Now, I'll step in and protect if I have to. I don't like when they pick on the babies. There's no reason for that. Hey, Faith. No reason at all. Poor babies. They're so sweet, so innocent. They live in this coop here all by themselves with their mommy, and they never have to experience any drama at all until they come out and mix with the rest of the ducks when everybody comes out of their coop in the afternoon. That's the only time they face any drama in their life at all. I'm just looking at all these babies and I'm trying to think, if I'm going to keep a couple of ducks for her to have, I need 2 girls. And I think this one right here in front might be a girl, just judging by the tail. But the beak is looking a little bit like a boy. I need to see the feet. I need to keep 2 girls with her. I can't keep a boy with her because they would mate and that would be a bad thing. But, oh gosh, I guess 2 girls would be okay. If I keep just one of her baby girls, maybe that would be okay. The rest are for sale. I have them listed on Craigslist for $8 each. And the price just goes up as they get older. They started out at $4, then they went to $5, then $6, then $7. Now they're at $8. I've sold 9 so far. I forget what price I sold that. I think I sold those at $5. It's duck math is tough math. I tell you what, they just keep multiplying. Hey, cool bro. You used to be pretty cool. Now you're kind of a jerk like your brother. Looks like Jerkface might be getting ready to take a bath. He's in the bathtub. Thanks for joining me, you guys. I appreciate it. I wasn't sure I was going to go live. I thought maybe I would just record and then post the videos later. I thought maybe I might get internet from the motorhome because we do have internet. Thank you to the 2 that gave me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. And it does look like right now I do have internet from the motorhome. It's across the hauler from me. All he did was wash his feet, you silly boy. You silly boy, Jerkface. You probably hear the goats. They're crying. They want to come out, but I can't let them out when all the coops are open because they'll just eat all the duck food. So I have to let them out after a while, once all the duck food is gone. I threw some food on the ground is what I did. So they're just gonna nibble. I apologize for moving this thing around so much. I don't have my stand and I don't have a clip-on microphone, so sometimes I have to hold it up to talk. Is the picture fairly clear or is it really broken up, you guys? Because I'll cut off the Wi-Fi and just go 5G if the picture's really broken up. I can't tell where I am, what I'm looking at. I can't tell if it's a good quality image or if it's really bad. Oh, here are the 3 babies that belong to the 2 mamas that can cause a lot of trouble. The 3 babies are all blues. They should be gray with white heads when they're full grown, but we call them blues. Somehow that black and white mama hatched out blue babies. And that's Patches, the goat, reaching through the rail trying to find something worth eating. There just really isn't anything worth eating where he can reach it. They like to eat the leaves as they fall out of the trees, and they like to eat the acorns. But he's looking for duck food, which is over this direction. I didn't throw any on the ground close to the goat pen. Hello to the two of you who are here. I'll show you the babies up close. These are the ducklings. There are more. You just saw some of them. But this is the biggest group of ducklings, and this is their very sweet, patient, wonderful mother. Mother of the year right there. She's raising 12 of her sister's babies and one of her own. And then the two back there, they've got 3 babies between the two of them. Hello, welcome to the barnyard. Hi guys, hello to the 3 of you. Welcome to the barnyard. I'm just hanging out with my ducks and my goats. There's the 3 blue babies. Those are Bingo's babies. And I was really surprised when she hatched those out because I thought her eggs were all duds. I didn't know she had fertile eggs. And there's another duck with her, can't really see it, that kind of came in and helped her raise her babies. And then we've got all these guys. Just hanging out with their mama. She needs a name. I could call her Patience because she's very patient. Those 2 over there are mean girls. And their 3 babies are pretty mean as well. Hello, Elle. Welcome. You were the number 3 chatter, and now you're the number 1 chatter. Awesome. And there's those 2 there try not to cause any trouble, but the other ones kind of bring trouble to them sometimes. There's a lot of drama in a duck flock, you guys. Mostly just with the ducks I have right now. There's just a lot of drama. I don't know why. I've never had so much drama. I think I have 32 ducks right now. And there's more drama with 32 ducks than I had when I had 300. It's just crazy. Maybe it's because there are only 32 ducks. And back when we had 300, there was just too much going on for them to be mean. I don't know. Let's see. I can't understand. Oh, I'm in the United States. Something about Afghanistan at school. That white goat is Abba Zaba. She just banged her head. The goats love to eat the duck food. I don't love them to eat the duck food because it's not good for them. It has things in it they're not supposed to eat. Thank you to the 2 that gave me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. And there's my girl Rosie. She's my alpine goat. She gives us good milk, but not right now. She hasn't been pregnant in a few years. So no milk from her these days. I've been buying milk for quite a while. And there's my boy Gimo. He was a bottle baby. His story is in my short videos. Is the quality of the video good, you guys? I can't tell from here. It looks good to me, but I can't tell if it's good or bad. And that's Sparky. He's got the little horns. Hey, Write It. Are you a writer? We got the babies. It's good. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad. Sometimes when I'm live, it's really broken up and it's not good. Thank you for telling me. I appreciate that. We have really strong Wi-Fi, I guess. Hello, Johanna. There's the 3 babies. Those are Bingo's babies. Thank you for the thumbs up, you guys. You're starting out writing names? Okay. What is Gimo eating? He must have found an acorn. As soon as they come out of their pen, they run and, well, first they look for goat food or for duck food on the ground. Ah, Write It. Yeah, what do you need, 50 subscribers to go live? Thank you for the heart. Let's see the babies here. I'm trying to rest my phone. I should go to my car and get my phone stand and just set it down so it's not so jumpy. They come out of their coop and they move about 3 to 5 feet out and they just plop down and take a nap. I remember the day I got 50 subscribers and was able to go live. I don't remember my first live stream, but I do remember being excited to have 50 subs. That was fun. That was probably in January or February. I've been on here for, I think, more than, I know for sure more than 10 years, but I never really worried about subs. KBEZ33, hi. And sometimes when I go live, I do it on 5G and I chew up all of our high-speed internet for the month, and that's not good. But right now I'm on Wi-Fi. The motorhome is not too far away from where I am. It's across the holler. So it's shooting the signal over here. And there's the light-colored mama back there. She's pretty aggressive. Those are not her babies. And she took over raising them when they were probably about a week old. And their mother did not give up. Like, their mom is right here. That's Bingo. That's their mom. And Bingo is still their mom. So the two are co-raising them. But I came one night and I was feeding them and I could not find those 3 babies. And Bingo was standing in a weird place. And I thought maybe the babies had gotten out of the coop, and I was kind of in a panic because they should have been peeping, you know, like screaming if they were out of the coop and couldn't get to their mom. And then I looked and the white hen was sitting on all those babies. It was really cute. And so the 2 of them are raising them together, which is nice. It's always good to have a second mama, because at one point, one of them will decide she's all done being a mom, and she'll just walk away from her babies and refuse to give them any attention. So it's nice to have 2 mamas, because generally one will want to be a mama for longer. We did have 2 that walked away from their babies at about a week old once, and the daddy duck actually stepped in and raised those babies by himself. He was the best dad duck ever. These are Muscovy duck, KBE. They are their own species. They're not related to mallard ducks or any of the other ducks. They're closely related to geese, but they are not geese and they are not ducks. They can breed with geese and ducks. Yeah, Fruit Squad, one of them walked away right after they were hatched. Like within, I would say, 3 or 4 days, she just literally walked away. And She wanted to go party with the boys. She was kind of a party girl. And the other one stayed with them for about, I'll say maybe 2 weeks. It's been a while. And she just left them alone again. She went off to be with the boys. So humans aren't the only ones that abandon their babies. And the dad duck, I can't remember his name or anything about him, but he immediately started raising those babies. And from then on, he was their parent, and he did an excellent job. He didn't let them fight. Anytime he saw a fight, he would walk over and he would just stand there. And if he had to, he might give them a little nudge, but he put an end to any fighting amongst the siblings. He was just the best dad. And he raised a group of really good kids. You know, a lot of times when ducks have their first brood, they just don't know what to do, and it kind of freaks them out. They have all kinds of instinct to sit on their eggs and hatch them, but once they hatch them, they really don't know what to do. Not unlike other animals. Some of my goats that I have are still my pets because their own moms didn't know how to raise them, so I ended up bottle raising them. So they are my pets, and I'm afraid to let them go because I'm afraid someone will just take them and eat them. Yeah, Fruit Squad, we had a problem with foxes and coyotes and bobcats. And when we moved our whole homestead about a little more than 4.5 years ago, I guess. And we only brought one duck with us when we moved. All the others I sold or gave away to people that I trusted. At one point we had about 300 ducks, and we raised them for their eggs. We sold most of them. It was a business for us, and they paid all the bills of the homestead. Selling the ducks paid for the horses' food, the donkeys' food, the goats' food, the sheep food, the chicken food, quail, peafowl, what else? Chuckers. No, we didn't have chuckers. Guineas, and all the duck food. They paid for everything. It was really good. But yes, I would say that Dad definitely died. We lost, value-wise, we lost about $2,000 worth of ducks. One day we went to church at about 10 in the morning and we came home at about noon. We had lost a couple $1,000s worth of ducks just in one hit from the coyotes. So yes, I would say he died because a lot of our ducks died that day. And I do veterinary care. If they're savable, you know, I'll do stitches. I give them antibiotic injections. I can do wound care. I'll pluck maggots. I'll do all the things I need to do to keep them healthy if they've been attacked. But there were a lot that couldn't be saved and a lot that were already dead by the time we got home from church that day. But these guys are safe. They all sleep in coops at night, and I only let them out when I'm here. So if we do have a coyote or a bobcat, see, we moved our homestead 1,500 miles. We moved way far away. But if we do have an issue with a predator, I'm here to protect them. And then as soon as I leave, I put them away. I don't let them out anymore because I'm afraid I'm going to lose them all. They're going to go find a drink of water over there. That red tub has water in it. They're so cute, you guys. I love this. I don't live here. I live in the city, and I have to drive here every day. I wish I could just sit like on my porch and watch them doing what they do and just be here all day with them out and about. That's how it used to be before. And actually, they were at our other house. I only have 32 ducks right now. With all the babies, I have 32. And a lot of them are for sale right now. The babies are for sale, and some of the boys are for sale. And then, you know, my hope is to only have maybe a dozen or so by winter time when it starts to snow. Ooh, we got to chase. See, that baby duck just chased her. That That is one aggressive little blue duck right there. Wagging his tail, he's so proud of himself. She could have just turned around and given him the what for, but instead she let him chase her. Oh, gosh, poor Wobble. That was Wobble. That's a lot to put up with, being chased by a little brat like that. And we brought, gosh, I don't even remember how many goats we brought with us. Let me think. We brought 2 sheep, which we have since sold, and maybe 6 goats with us. Look at Abba Zaba being a weirdo. And, oops, sorry. We brought a cockatoo, a small little Goffin's cockatoo. He died from a heart attack or a stroke about 2 years ago, maybe close to 3 years ago. Hi, JP from Corsica. Nice to meet you. I'm in the United States. I'm in the state of Tennessee. These are my babies. But they're all ready to go to new homes if you know anyone in Tennessee who wants a duck. They all need a new home. And I need at least one of these to be a girl so I can keep her. Elvis, yes. Elvis was from Tennessee. Yeah, I'm at the other end of the state from where Elvis is from. He was from Memphis, and I'm at the way far other side of the state. Hey, Fruit Squad from Portugal, huh? Fruta. Or is it fruta in Portuguese? An island, you speak French in Corsica. I do not speak French. I tried to learn French about close to 10 years ago. I could not learn French. I tried. French and Italia. See, I used to know a little bit of Italian. Mostly I knew Spanish, and I didn't know Spanish very well. I traveled in Italy. I think we flew into Rome, and then I stayed with some friends in Rome for a while. And then my girlfriend, Cindy, she lived in Rome, and she and I traveled on the train up through, oh gosh, well, we went up to Venice is where we ended up. Is it Venezia? And Florence. I don't know. It was fun. I enjoyed my time in Italy. And then I went up into France and Switzerland and France, and then Germany, Belgium. And I went up to the UK, to England rather. And then, let's see, at one point I was in Denmark and Sweden. It was a fun trip. I was gone for a long time. That was a lot of fun. Riding the train, staying with friends and visiting, mostly staying with friends over there. Stayed in a few hotels, but mostly with friends. And I slept in train stations. Like in Hamburg, I slept in the train station. It was safer. It was a lot safer to do that 40 years ago than it is now. Now it is not safe at all. I don't think I would do the same thing now that I did back then, which is unfortunate. Hey, thanks to the 4 who have given me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. 7 or 8 cities have named Corsica. Really? 7 of our cities are named that? Huh. 7 or 8 named Corsica. I'm trying to think of where that is, because I know that's like there's a Paris. I think there's a Paris in California, and there's a Paris somewhere else in the United States. And there's a Bristol in the Northeast, and I think there's a Bristol. There are like 3 Bristols in the United States. And I don't know about Rome. I don't know about, I've never heard of a Corsica. I do believe you. I'm not saying I don't believe you. I just haven't heard of them yet. That's cool. I guess that's because people came from there and they wanted to bring the memories of their homeland. You guys modeled the Pascal Paoli Constitution. If they modeled it after us. I don't speak Portuguese. No, I don't think so. I know it is similar to Spanish. And I used to speak Spanish, but I don't speak Spanish anymore. I would probably have trouble with Portuguese because it's close enough to Spanish I would forget. I had that problem with Italian, speaking Italian when I was in Italy. I knew just enough Spanish to get me in trouble. I like agua y aqua, and certain things were similar but different, and it was hard. My dad spoke Portuguese, and my dad spoke Spanish, and I have an aunt who speaks Spanish, well, 2 aunts who speak Spanish fluently. My grandparents spoke Spanish, but they spoke it with the Guatemalan dialect. So there's like an Indian mix with that Spanish. And then I had a boyfriend who spoke Italian, so I've been exposed to that stuff. Look at that cutie there taking a bath, rubbing their feathers. I hope you guys are having a good day or evening. I think it must be evening for some of you. I'll show you my prettiest girl. She's kind of standing in the wrong direction to really see her. She's got beautiful lacing on hers. She's barred. Por favor means please. Or, well, we translate it to please in English. Por favor. Gracias, por favor. Hola. I know just enough to speak a little bit. Thank you for the thumbs up. Por favor. For favor. Please. Yes, yes. I did well in Spanish when I was younger. And then when I traveled my mom and I traveled down to Costa Rica to visit my aunt who lived there. And while we were there, we went up to Guatemala because we hadn't been there for more than 10 years when my grandparents lived in Guatemala. So we went up to Guatemala to kind of go to some of the old places. And I did speak just barely enough Spanish back then to sort of help get us around, but not enough to really thrive. That was a long time ago. Yeah, you know what? I was kind of sort of a little bit bilingual, and I raised my girls with phrases, and I would say things like "¿Qué hora es?" and they just knew because they grew up that I was asking what time it is. And one of my daughters, my oldest girl, she was in Spanish class when she was in high school. And she was homeschooled mostly, but she did go to Spanish class and a couple of other classes in high school. And she came home one day and she had this look on her face. She said, "Mom, did you know we speak Spanish?" So I asked her to clarify what she meant. ¿Cómo estás? How are you? ¿Cómo está usted? Bien, bien. ¿Y tú? Bien. Yeah, I know just enough of the phrases. So I raised my girls with some of those phrases. And I'm trying to think of like vaso de agua, like at night if they wanted a drink of water. And so she grew up with these phrases. Hello again, JP. ¿Cómo estás? Bien, bien. ¿Y tú? And she was so excited because when she was in class, she actually learned that that was Spanish. She had no idea. I had no idea it would have an impact on her. I just knew that there were certain things we said in Spanish. If my husband and I are somewhere and he shows me something, I'll say cuánto cuesta, and he tells me how much it is. Muy bien, bien, bien. Oh, muy bene. Okay, muy bene. Is that Italian? See? Italian is so close to Spanish and they're so close. It isn't. Okay, what is that? Bene. Italia. Okay. Bene. Si. Okay. You brat boy, look who came out of his pen. He's not supposed to be out here. He's just going to plow right through the baby ducks. He wants to go in and see if there's any food in their feeder. Ha ha, there isn't. Just crumbs. Tutto bene. What is tutto? Tutto bene. See, my boyfriend that spoke Italian, he was raised with English, but his father spoke Italian, so he was kind of raised bilingual, I guess, a little bit. Tutto bene. Sounds familiar. Ah, how are you? In Portuguese. Oh my gosh. I'm learning 2 languages at once, Portuguese and Italian. I'm going to be completely messed up. My ducks won't know what to say. These ducks are from South America. They speak Argentine. What else do you guys speak? Colombian, Spanish. Yeah. Don't pretend you're so innocent. And also they're from Central America, so maybe a little bit of Panamanian Spanish. Silly babies. I guess my little boy found some crumbs to lick out of their feeder. He's such a bad boy. He's not supposed to do that. Thanks in Portuguese. Obrigado. My father probably knew that. Obrigado. Because he did speak a bit of Portuguese. He worked with people here in the United States that came here to work in the agriculture field. And so he worked with some Portuguese people. Not a lot, but enough that he needed to know how to speak the language. So he had a tutor and learned how to speak it. Now they finally decided to come out and start eating. The babies did. Grazie, Natalia. Atelier. Merci. Grazie. I remember grazie instead of gracias. Grazie. Oh, I had fun in Rome, you guys. I had so much fun. Rome was wonderful. And actually, Florence was beautiful. Venice was fun. I had a really good time in Rome, though. It was real fun. Mama just pooped. Ugh. It's a peaceful day. Pretty peaceful so far with the ducks. A lot of times they're not nice to each other, and it's a really, I don't know, dramatic time. Everybody's just screaming and running around, and they're being mean to each other. Oh dear, we're going Russian. Oh, I wish you could pronounce that for me. That would be fun. One of my daughters had a roommate in college who is from France. And she actually spoke a version of French that was not your typical French, because she's from the, I think it's pronounced Alsace area, that's kind of sometimes German and sometimes France, so they have kind of their own dialect. But she was, but Fruit, I can't hear you. Pardon me. I can't hear it, I can only see it. And it's hard to recognize that because the letters are so different. Sparky, what are you doing here, you big goof? You brought your smart self over here. He doesn't know there's food on the ground yet. Once he finds that duck food, it's going to be all over. Oh, he found it. Dang it. I was hoping he would find a couple of acorns and just move on. You know, my pretty girl is facing us now. It's easier to see her feather patterns. She's got that white lacing on her feathers. That's so pretty. I love that coloring. And I've got a boy that's got that on his feathers. He's real shy. He didn't come out of his coop today. And I've got a couple of females that have that are a brown color, but she's the only one that's black, and she's got really well-defined lacing on her feathers. It's peaceful right here, you guys. Very peaceful. When this one isn't screaming, he just likes to cry really loud. He's a screamer. I worked with Spanish speakers about a year ago, and they kept forgetting that I spoke Spanish or that I understood Spanish. It was pretty funny. I enjoyed working with them. Right now I'm in Russia. Oh, getting ready for winter, I suppose, in Russia. Hi, little boy. Oh, I think I had a mosquito buzzing me just now. Yeah, I'm getting ready for winter, and it's not even going to be that cold here. I think the most it got to was -11 one day. And that was just with the wind chill. It was only about -2 or 3. And so we don't get nearly as cold as you do there. That's some serious cold. I just realized I know where my jacket is that uses the batteries, but I don't know where the batteries are to make it warm. No pond for the ducks. No, we used to have a creek, and they did have a pond before that. We have a creek on our property right now, but there's no access to it for them. Once we get things figured out, I might be able to give them a pen where they can go in the creek, but I'm not sure. We have snapping turtles here, and they do kill the ducks. We've had some really bad things happen with the snapping turtles. We had, before we moved, my husband built a pond, and we had to have a pond because if there was going to be a fire at our property, we would have to fight the fire by ourselves. So we needed a lot of water, so we had a pond, and the ducks swam in the pond, and they loved it. Some of them didn't, but most of them did. And then we moved and we had a creek running through the yard, and they loved it in the creek, but the creek had snapping turtles, and they killed one duck, and another one, they really badly injured him, and I was just always so worried whenever they went swimming in the creek. So I don't know, I don't like the creek situation because of the snapping turtles. And if we do take them down to the creek here on our property eventually, I'll probably have to make sure there are no turtle holes before, because I would want to trap the turtles and move them somewhere else, just because I can't lose my ducks to the turtles. It's just horrible. It's so disgusting. Yeah, it's really bad. I mean, oh God, nightmares just thinking about it. Not cool. As long as I know there are no snapping turtles, I'm fine to let them go in the water. But we had one turtle that was bigger than our biggest duck. I'll show you our biggest duck right there. He's a pretty good sized boy. And we had a snapping turtle that was twice as big as him. It snowed this morning. Hey, Chirpin Homestead, where are you? I didn't even see you come in. No way, Montana already snowing? Oh my gosh. You know what? I think I saw something on Max Velocity about a storm in the in the northwest, but I didn't realize that it was a snowstorm in Montana. That's crazy. Look at this guy here, all casual, all stretched out. Oh, now, don't be shy. Goodness gracious. We are in Tennessee this year, we're supposed to have more snow than usual. Last year we had more snow than we had had in the previous 3 winters, but that's, we've only been here 4.5 years, so it's not that unusual. But this year, we are, according to Max Velocity, we are supposed to have a lot of snow. Here come the 3 bad boys and their mamas. This entire brood, this is the family you don't want your kids playing with, because they will come home with bad habits, okay? So take a good look at these ducklings and their innocent looking mothers, and just know that they invite your kids over for a play date, that they're going to come home throwing knives and flashing gang signs, okay? That's what's going to happen. Chirping Homestead, right now I have 6 goats, 32 ducks, and 3 dogs. And this is the fewest animals I've ever had. We might have baby goats in February, but I'm not sure. How many do you have? It says Chirping Homestead, so I'm going to assume you have some chickens. Our goats are all pets. They're all pets, but we do have one that we milk whenever she has babies. The babies get the milk first, and then whatever's left over I take. Oh, you went to Disney. Yeah. Now, Disneyland employs people from all over the world, but they wouldn't necessarily speak your language where you are. 400 ducks, good golly. Okay, I have had ducks, chickens, turkeys, guinea fowl, quail. Do you not have quail? What's wrong? But never that many. The most I ever had was 300 ducks and probably 50 chickens, maybe 10 guinea fowl, a couple of peafowl, probably 20 or so quail. I haven't had geese in a long, long time. That's a lot. So Chirping Homestead, do you raise for a market? Because we used to raise the ducks and sell them out to the Asian restaurant market. The broker that we sold them to sold. Okay, you hatch and sell. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So are you NPIP certified? I asked that because my neighbor was NPIP and I used to help her do the blood draw twice a year to keep her certification, and she finally just let it go. It just wasn't worth it for her. She didn't have that many. Oh, Guy, the testing is so ridiculous. You know, don't they only test for the diseases that would kill them by the time the results came back? For a snack right now, I don't know, jerky sounds good. I made myself potato soup today, and I think I'm going to have potato soup as a snack when I get home. It's good stuff. Every single one, yeah. That blood draw was wicked, and I also helped her hold her goats for the blood draw for the diseases that they get. And trying to think if she helped me when I did the blood draw on my goats. I think my husband helped me, but it might have been her. She and I did a lot of stuff. We did all the castrating and disbudding, dehorning, and we did all of the stuff together. I'm so sad. We moved away, and then she just moved to Idaho about 4 days ago. So she's up in Idaho. I'm over in East Tennessee. Potato soup, I would think, Fruit Squad, that you could do potato soup. Get yourself a big old potato. I cook mine first. I cook mine in the microwave, the potatoes, till they're soft. I actually cook up 2 of them. And then I fry up an onion in a pan, and I add milk, just enough milk to make myself a big old bowl, maybe 2 bowls. And then salt and pepper, garlic, Italian seasoning. I went out to the garden and picked some basil and some garlic chives to put in the soup. So I microwaved 1 potato, put it in the milk, chopped it up and put it in the milk. And then, oh, my husband just shut up. When it was all cooked, I also had a carrot. I cooked a carrot and put it in there. I ground up all the potato and the milk and the spices and everything. And then I added the diced carrot and I added a diced potato, and that was so good. Oh, I added cheese and sour cream too. Bye, JP. Have a good night. Thank you for subscribing. Hello.
Are you off air?
No, we can talk.
I've got to give him a bath.
Oh, gee, did he come back all stinky?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Okay,
I'll be bent over doing it, but I don't have the choice.
let me see what he looks like. Is he sticky?
No,
Hey, big boy.
I gave him a towel bath I scrubbed him last night.
Hey, dude. This boy's been in something stinky, so he needs a bath.
It's about 100 gallons.
Is there? Okay, that's fine. It was losing pressure a little bit, so I knew there wasn't a whole lot of weight on top of it.
Yeah, if you come over here, I'll show you.
Okay.
You can see it looks a little darker down here, but then you just do that and you can see it splash.
Oh, barely. Okay.
Barely?
Well, I could barely see it. Yeah, but that's okay. What's on me? Oh, that's weird.
Did you smell him?
No, he wouldn't come over to me.
Boss?
He's been in the swamp.
I don't know. No, he's been eating something.
Oh, he's been eating it.
He smells, but not.
He just smells
over
dirty.
here.
Oh, yuck. He's been rolling in something dead.
Yeah.
Ugh, gross. That smells like a dead deer.
Yeah. Every day.
Every day
I'm going to take it off of you.
he goes to it. He goes to it every day, and then you wash it off of him, and he has to go back and roll in it again.
Well, it's either that or you sleep outside.
Hey, chirping. Yeah, mine are kind of aggressive right now. I have 4 coops. This one here just houses one mama duck and her 13 babies. This is called Muscovy Crossing. And it's got stall mats on the floor, and I just scrape it with a shovel. I've got some health issues, so I'm not able to do as much cleaning as I'd like to, but I do clean them out every 3 or 4 days. I'd like to do it every 2 days. And this is the condo, and this just has 2 mamas and a baby in it. That's their water bowl. I have to clean that every day. This is the apartment. This is where 2 boys live. Again, I just scrape it out. And then back there we have the most. There are, gosh, what have we got? 6 females, 2 males, and 3 babies in there. These are 2 of the 3 babies, and that's not their mom with them. She won't let them go by for some reason because her baby's on the other side. These babies are aggressive. Oh my goodness. I think everybody's in this coop. I'm going to close it up. I've got to come back and do their water and their food. But it looks like everybody's tucked away, so I'm just going to close that. Yeah, everyone's in there. That's good. So I don't have the same operation you've got, chirping. You must have a lot of help. That's just so many birds. That's a lot of birds. The NPIP thing, that blood draw is, gosh, do you have a vet tech? Hey, Fruit Squad, I don't know that I have a joke. I don't really have jokes. I have stories. I tell stories. There's that beautiful girl, my barred baby Wobble. I just love her coloring. And okay, tell us your joke. I think I'm going to let the goats out. So let me just move this. I really only want to keep 2 coops this winter. I don't want to have to take care of 3 coops this winter, but with all these ducks, I'm going to have to keep 3 coops. Kind of. This for sure. This one's really well insulated. They're able to, these are refrigeration and freezer panels. These right here, they do a good job of insulating. Helps keep them warm. Then we drape a cloth over the front so it keeps the heat in. Which one came first, the egg or the chicken? That is the question, right? That's the question. Oh, actually, I should have closed the other coop too. They'll go in there if I don't close it. Problem is, I've got some in there that don't belong in there. You guys don't belong in there. You going to be in there for now? Okay. I don't know if you're going to like it, but I'll leave you in there for now anyway. That's the boys' apartment. That's where the boy ducks sleep. You know, I used to try to be philosophical about which came first, the chicken or the egg, but I really just think God dropped the chicken down on the earth and she already had eggs in her. That's all I can figure. Hi, guys. Okay, cover your ears. This gate is super squeaky. Nani's on the other side. How long till she figures out she has to go backwards in order to come forward? It's okay, chirping. Your life sounds exhausting, and I hope that you guys are successful this year, especially with Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays coming up with your turkeys. And I don't know if your ducks, well, that's right, you said you raise them, so you sell babies. So you're selling, like when I order, you're not selling full grown birds, you're selling babies, huh? That's crazy. I went to the hatchery when I was in high school. We all got to go to the hatchery at the local university. And they had the big trays of eggs. You know, you pull them out, and if they haven't hatched, you just dump them in the trash. And there was an egg that was pipped, but it wasn't hatched. And I grabbed it and put it in my pocket. It was a Brahma. And I put it in my pocket, and I put my hand over it in my sweatshirt. I guess I was wearing a sweatshirt. And I went back to school, and I was taking a test later that day. And there's the kid next to me, Jim. I had shown him the egg, and it was pipped. And so he knew what it was. Nobody else knew that I had a chicken egg in my pocket. So we're all taking this test, which means the classroom is completely silent, except for the sound of pencils on paper. There were no computers or anything. It was all written back then. And all of a sudden there was a peep, 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 that real high-pitched peep. And I probably turned beet red, but I was the best student in the class. Like, I mean, I was not a troublemaker at all. And so the teacher wasn't looking at me. I just looked down. Now, Jim next to me, he was kind of a troublemaker. He kind of busted up a little bit, but he didn't say anything, and nobody else in the class knew what was going on. So the teacher looked down back. He was, reading a magazine or something. I don't know. So after like another minute or so, there was another beep, 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 beep. And the teacher like put his pencil down on the desk and goes, okay, what is going on? So I said, I'm sorry. And I took the egg out of my pocket and I showed the teacher, I have this egg and it's hatching. And he's just like looked down, shook his head. He goes, of course, never mind, of course. Because I was a total Aggie, and there was, always a chance that something weird was going to be going on with me. But that was fun. That was really fun. Unfortunately, as you know, being a hatchery person, if it doesn't hatch in the 21 days, or if you give it 22 days, whatever you give them, there's a reason for it. And this little Brahma chick, it lasted a couple of days, but it didn't last very long. It was just too weak. So I had it for a little while. My dad wasn't thrilled when I brought home a chicken, but what is he gonna do? That was funny. Oh my goodness. Jim, he was so fun. He was a funny guy. Yeah, I stole that egg from the hatchery. I didn't think it was nice that it just went into the trash can, but I understand, but at the same time, my little heart was breaking for that little baby that was trying to hatch and just couldn't quite make it. So, it died in a warm, loved place, just, whatever. Oh, wow. That's really cool. So at 6, of course you were an entrepreneur at 16 because you were homeschooled. I homeschooled my girls. And one of my girls, were you in 4-H or FFA? Is that why you did that? I mean, you're in Montana, so it's very agriculture anyway. You weren't. Okay. My daughter was in 4-H, and she was in the chicken group in her club. So every year she would get chicks and raise them and sell them. And then she sold eggs. One year she'd go door to door and knock on doors, and she'd have a little basket of eggs, and she sold them for either 10 or 15 cents each. Just a few. It ended up being a full business. That's hilarious because they always say just a few chickens. Right? Just a few. Like my husband, just a few ducks. Chicken math. It's the same with goat math and duck math and turkey math and guinea fowl math. And guinea fowl, in your experience, are they some of the dumbest birds ever? Poultry math. Now, Fruit Squad, I don't know, why were you bullied because you didn't really speak English? Didn't you grow up in a Spanish or in Portugal where they didn't speak a lot of English? My husband is the one who has started every single one of the animals we've got, except the horses. And I don't have horses anymore, but I have. In years past, I've had horses. He starts it all. Yeah, you know what I found with my guineas? I had one who sneaked away and hatched out a brood of babies. I could not find her. We had 3 acres, and it wasn't even that, there wasn't even really that much room for her to be wild. It was almost all pastures or coops or a shed. Maybe she was under the shed. I don't remember, but she came out with a bunch of babies. And the ground squirrels started killing the Keats, and just mutilating them. And then the ravens came in and they could catch them and they would fly up into the tree with them and bludgeon them. And then that night, like the first night of their lives, the mother guinea flew up in the tree to roost with her friends and left her Keats on the ground. So I just gathered them all up and sold them on Craigslist because I didn't have a brooder to raise a bunch of Keats in. I was full with my ducks and my chickens. I didn't have baby Keats on my brain that time, and I didn't want more annoying. Oh God, it's just awful. We did have a guinea chicken hybrid. I named him Felix, and he was hilarious. He was a chicken from the middle of his body forward, and he was a guinea from the middle of his body backward. He had guinea legs and feet and a guinea tail and a rooster neck and head. And the chickens wanted nothing to do with him, and the guineas wanted nothing to do with him. So he hung out with the Muscovy ducks on the pond to the point where he actually would go into the water a little bit. Oh, there were no Portuguese schools. Oh, that is so sad, Fruit Squad. That's really sad. I can't imagine why people would make fun of you. I had a friend in grammar school. She came straight from Taiwan. She didn't speak any English. I couldn't even imagine making fun of her. She and I just played and had fun. It didn't bother me that she didn't speak English. That's just weird. Yeah, ours roosted in the trees, and then the barn owls figured out that they were there. Not barn owls, I'm sorry. The great horned owls figured out they were up there in the trees, and they would get on the branch and push them off and then kill them and fly away with them. I don't even know how they did it. Barn owls don't weigh very much. I've got to go rescue the moms. The baby came out of that coop, and the moms can't get out, and they're freaking out, as they tend to do. I don't know if the baby will go back in. There's a big old gap, so baby can come out, but mamas can't. Okay. I wish I had a load of wood chips, a fresh load of wood chips, because I'd really like to put fresh wood chips in here. It just looks and smells so much better. And they can stand on them all winter, and then late winter, early spring, I just scoop it all out and take it to the compost pile. I don't have any wood chips. So you own the long coops. Okay. Your parents saw 4 chicken coops in the yard. We looked at property here in East Tennessee that had the long coops. And we thought about going into large scale poultry raising, but I was a little nervous about hooking up. Don't you have to hook up with a company? Or maybe that's just with the people that do the, oh gosh, do the meat birds, like they hook up with Tyson or one of the other companies, and the company owns the coop, and when they don't want you to raise for them anymore, they just say, okay, we're not going to give you any more. We're done with you, and then you're stuck with a long coop. But if you're doing incubators, yours is different. Yeah, you got a big old electric bill. Oh, this goofy duck. It's in its water bowl, but there's no water. There's just mud in it because they put mud in it every day. They make it so muddy. It's grotesque. You guys don't need to be in here. Actually, I can put a little water in there and start getting it cleaned out. I collect rainwater all along here. You can see it hasn't rained in East Tennessee in a while. All my buckets are empty. My husband hauls water up for me. We don't have water or electricity here. He has to go down to the road and get water. It was nice when we had the creek running through our yard. I could just grab buckets of water out of the creek. If our pipes were frozen, that's where I would get their water. Quail. So do you have Coturnix or do you raise Bob Whites? What are your quail breeds? Fruit Squad, I'm glad that your teacher helped you with English. That was nice. Coturnix and Bob White only. Do you find that the Bob White are aggressive? We had the Coturnix and they were pretty aggressive, and I would have to have one or two in my house that had been partially scalped by another one. We had an infirmary in the house where I would bring them and stitch them up and give them care until I could take them back out to the coop. And I've heard that the Bob Whites are more aggressive. Look at these girls being just snotty. Oh, that's sad, Fruit Squad. I'm sorry you lost your teacher. Yeah, I mean, I love the quail eggs. I used to pickle them. And I mean, it didn't make any sense at all to have fried quail eggs for breakfast. I did it a couple times just to be silly. But mostly I hard boiled the eggs, and I believe I sold some of them. But when we moved, I got rid of all my quail. We had a few California quail. I honestly can't even tell you how I got them. I don't remember how I got them. I used to be a wildlife rehabilitator out in California. I was a licensed rehabilitator through the state. And I don't remember where the quail came from, but I had 3 California quail. Oh, they're invasive. Okay. So you have to be careful with them. See, everybody can get along if they want to. Those 2 mamas there, the only reason they're aggressive is because the other 2 with the 3 babies have taught them how to be aggressive. You can't even own them. Oh my goodness. Wow. I mean, that's Montana protecting their wildlife. That's great. But I remember holding my quail because they were fairly tame, and the California quail were, I would say, pet quality. One of them fell in love with a Cochin rooster. And she somehow got in his coop, and she wouldn't let him breed with his Cochin hens. It was hilarious. It was the funniest. My neighbor put a picture on Facebook and said, this quail came from somewhere and she won't let Elvis breed with his girls. And I sent her a message. I said, I am so sorry. That's my quail. She got out. She got out and flew to the neighbors and fell in love with Elvis, the big black Cochin. And he was not a bantam. He was a full-size Cochin rooster. And she protected him from his pullets and hens and would not let him even look at them, let alone breed with them. So I took her back, I put her back in the chicken coop, and after a couple of weeks, I thought maybe she had forgotten about Elvis, and I let her out to go be a wild quail because she wasn't supposed to be a pet. And she flew straight back over to Elvis, and she was there for quite a while. But my friend had to chase her out a lot. Roans are that way? Oh gosh. Oh God. They're sweet ducks though, aren't they? If I could have other breeds, I would, but I don't want to mix and make mules with the Muscovies. I had one mule. Somebody dumped a Muscovy mule on our property, and this weird looking duck just showed up one day. And I mean, we probably had 150, 200 ducks at the time. And that's including everything from just hatched today to ready to go to market. That was everything. But I noticed this duck, it was the strangest looking duck. It had long legs, big feet, a small head, a smallish body, and the males tried to mate with it because it looked like a female, but it looked like a female Muscovy. But one day I saw it breeding, and it was definitely a male Muscovy. So it was a mule. I named him Caitlin because he was a boy, but he looked like a girl. And Caitlin was okay for a long, long time. I just had to be careful when he got too aggressive because he started to become dominant in the flock and he wouldn't let the other males mate with the females. So I was selling eating eggs, fertile eggs, babies, and everything. So I needed my eggs to be fertile. I couldn't have a mule out there messing up my fertility. So I separated him. I put him in a coop with a bunch of brooding mamas and babies, and he couldn't cause any damage in there. Caitlin was just the funniest looking Muscovy, but somebody just had this duck and dumped him on our property. I don't think he flew in. I guess he could have flown in. I don't remember if he could fly. It's possible he flew over from somewhere. Good night, Fruit Squad. Bless you. Buona notte? That's Italian, huh? Buenos dias. That's Espanol. I don't know Portuguese. I don't know good night in Portuguese. Thank you for being in here and talking to us today. I appreciate that. There's my pretty girl. My barred baby. She's being kind of a brat. It's amazing how fast one mean duck can change the whole population. These guys don't want to go to bed with their mom and siblings, but I'm going to chase them in, get their fresh water put in, give them food, and put them to bed for the night. Go on, kids. Go to bed. These guys are so sweet. I love how they catch bugs. We had tick, mosquito, and no-see-um problems on our ranch before. And when we got the Muscovies and they were running around free, all those disappeared. And we did work on our neighbors' properties. We did fence work and we would go help out with things. And every time we went over to the neighbors to help, we went to 5 different neighbors. We always got bit by mosquitoes, no-see-ums, and I don't know about ticks, but for sure mosquitoes and no-see-ums. And we had a campground on our property, and we always asked our campers if anybody was getting bit. Nobody was ever getting bit. They never had to use their bug spray or anything. They just had to put up with a few dozen ducks cruising through their campground every day just to say hi. But that's no problem. They liked that. They loved it a lot. Our baby Muscovies caught so many bugs. I mean, that was like their full-time job back then. That's when I could let them free range. I can't let them free range anymore. Not here. We have a bobcat, and we've had coyote and bobcat sightings. You guys are so cute. They do mess up their water though. So tell me, do you have, we just, we collect dog kennels, and then those refrigerator freezer panels were handy. We've also built the goat area with some of them, and then where their feed is, we built that. It was really, we saved a lot of money on building materials by using those. They were free. They were seconds. They couldn't use them to build it, like refrigerators for restaurants and universities and hospitals and stuff, the walk-in freezers and the big cold rooms they have. That's what these panels are from. And they had problems with them, so they used to give them away. Well, now they have a new manager and he won't let them give them away, so we can't get any more. I'm kind of sad about that. We still have a stack we haven't used, so we'll probably do something with them. We've got a doghouse that we built with them, and it could be 0 degrees out, and I would reach in that doghouse and it was about 70 degrees in there if the dog was in there, because she used to sleep here. And man, they stay warm and cozy. It's amazing how much heat they hold in. Hey guys. Buonanotte is good night. Buonanotte. Portuguese, bye. I really need to scrape this coop. I scrape it, I put water on it first, then I scrape it, then I pour more water, then I sweep it, and I pour more water. I have to use a lot of water to do it, and I don't have a lot of water. My husband's got to bring me water tomorrow. I've got about 100 gallons left, he said, and I go through probably 20 or so gallons a day, 20 to 25 gallons a day, so I can't clean the coop. I like to clean it after it's rained and I have a lot of water collected in those tubs, and I just use rainwater to clean it. Otherwise, I waste a lot of water, and that's a lot of work for him to bring the water up. Now, come winter, we have to haul hot water from our house in 5-gallon jugs. We bring about, I guess, 15 gallons in the morning and 15 gallons at night. You're in need of a few dog kennels. Yeah, when we got most of ours was when the housing market took a crash and people were selling their houses because the job market tanked and they were selling their houses and they had to get rid of things that they didn't need, but nobody was buying stuff. We got a lot of stuff really cheap or free. You might not have the same options we did because we were in California back then, but these refrigerator freezer panels, these are a blessing, man. These came right out of heaven as far as I'm concerned, because they're just amazing. You can't beat them. And if I were doing something with like brooding, I would use them. I don't even remember where this coop came from. It's a 6x6, the condo coop. And then, gosh, the other one, I don't think we have any panels on it, the big one. But yeah, if I could, I would make more coops with this because it keeps them from getting too hot in the summer and too cold in the winter. Okay, mamas and baby, you guys need to go in here and go to bed. These two are hard to get in there because their baby is really independent. This one here, super independent, and it wants to go wherever it wants to go. So the mamas will go to bed, and then the baby will say, no, I want to be out running around. So it'll just run out again. Oh, let's see. My goats aren't here, so I can't. This place is so messy. We need to do a real quick fall cleanup before winter wind gets here and starts blowing our junk all over the place. Oh, I'm surprised my goats didn't find this. I left this right here. Oh, gee, that's a miracle. Hey, Mama, you guys want a little pile of food here? There you go. Like this, there's just stuff that blows around. This stuff is all gonna blow around. We're gonna have a big old windy day and it's just gonna go everywhere. Those dog kennels probably need to be I need a good rain to wash them, and then I'll bring them in the feed shed here. Leave them in here. Chirping, I'm getting 0 eggs a day right now because everybody's got babies. And if I don't know why the other ones aren't laying. I have a theory that my layer don't have enough protein in them for my ducks. When they free range, they eat grasshoppers and beetles and all kinds of stuff, and they do fine. They lay eggs and all, but they've been cooped up. I just think I'm missing out on the protein. So sometimes I get 10 eggs a day, but right now I'm not getting any. I have several that should be laying. There are 4 hens that are not at all doing any raising right now. They should be laying eggs. And they're not. Actually 5. I have one that might be laying somewhere on the property, like in my hay storage area, but I wouldn't know because I can't find her nest. She's a freebie. She just runs around and does whatever she wants. Okay, don't you be bugging that baby. You go to bed. Go to bed. Where's your brother? Hey. Hey, bro. You need to stop fence fighting and go to bed. There you go. Okay, they've got food. They need fresh water. You guys have food? Goodness, you guys are, I think I might be feeding mice or something. Man, these guys go through way more food than they usually do. There you go. Okay, I gotta get everybody fresh water. It's so gross. They have food. Where's your sister? Oh, and the baby came out now. Baby was in, baby came out. Hey, you guys need to go to bed so I can go home and go to bed. It doesn't look dark, but it's getting that way. The sun is gone. I have to bring them fresh water. Oh, good. All right, you guys, I'm going to end this. Yes, you know what? They are molting, Chirping. Thank you for reminding me. They are molting. That is exactly why they're not laying. She's done molting. She's the yard bird. She could be laying eggs somewhere, and if she is, they're fertile. And this is the father. Yeah, D1. See you later. Thank you for joining my live stream. I appreciate it.